Our script here that showed the environment variables did its job pretty well, but it still hasn't made it very clear what's going on the page. What I've done is I've created another script, and I've just simply called this one env.cgi, and this script lays things out in a much clearer way. All of a sudden we're able to make out the keys very separately from the values. The script that we looked at in the last movie, this one here, was very simple in how it looked at the different pieces of information contained within the env hash. If we have a look at the script that created the page we just saw in our web browser, it has the same basic functionality going on. If we look down at the end of the script, this is doing pretty much the same thing. Well, let's have a quick look at the way the script is created, because this is much more like the kind of script that we'll be using to create well-formatted HTML that will look right on a web browser when someone accesses our script and wants to receive HTML content. What I've done here is I've used on the first line, after the shebang line and the line to send the MIME header, is I've set up a variable here called docHead, or document head, and this is all the information that we're going to set up before our script takes its real work and outputs the environment variables. I've used a here document style of delimiting the string here, and what I've done after that in this particular variable is I've set up the HTML head, and I've included a very short piece of style definition here using cascading style sheets, and then we've gone into the body of the HTML document and I've set up a table, and the table starts and the header is located within the table. The top of the table we've put environment variables, and then I've closed that row of the table off, and then that's the end of the top of our document. Then I've also defined a variable here called docFoot, which is going to be the end of our document, and that's just going to close off the table and the HTML document itself. So then the part of the script that is dynamic, that is the part that is not simply serving plain HTML, goes down here. We have the document head being printed out at the top and the document foot printed out at the bottom. Then in the middle here we've looped over each element within the env hash, and we've done very similar things to what we did with our simple script. But instead of simply outputting the results separated only by line breaks and BR tags, what I've done is each time I've set up a variable called row, and I've used a table row and two table cells, two TDs, and I've put the key in one of them and the value in the other. So nothing terribly complicated going on here, just some simple HTML. But you can see how in the way that this particular document is set up, we're able to use large blocks of HTML using the here document style of quotation to very easily split up the information and create a nicely formatted HTML page.